Hello, my name is Nick, and welcome to Watch This Now. Season 1 of The Mandalorian has just wrapped up on Disney Plus, and that's probably the reason you have Disney Plus. The Mandalorian is a television series that follows, a Boba Fett type. There's 8 episodes in this space adventure storyline, and while the films in the Star Wars universe might still be quite divisive right now, I think most people can agree that this TV series is exactly what people are looking for from the Star Wars universe. Now, I am not the biggest Star Wars fan. I must admit, I just am not. It does not click with me the way it does with others, which is perfectly fine. I have plenty of other things to watch. Yes, this is a Dumbo shirt because I'm really, really cool. Now, I did really enjoy the original trilogy when I was a kid. The Return of the Jedi is still my favorite. I stand by it. I don't care. And one of the things I really loved about that was the beginning sequence where, Boba Fett totally ends up in that pit, which was ridiculous. But we have all been craving some Mandalorian action since then. In fact, if you were a kid between 1980 and 2010, you probably had some sort of Boba Fett action figure that you played with, and once you get to episode 8 of this show, it plays out like your fantasy version of smashing action toys together. But I'd say it totally earns it. Now, there isn't much of an overall story to this season, and I'm pretty okay with that. This is the type of show, it's like a western, like a cowboy western meets a medieval knight kind of TV show, but played out in outer space. And this is exactly what I think has made Star Wars thematically strong from the very beginning. It takes a lot of tropes and ideas and storylines from classic storytelling like knights and cowboys and that sort of stuff, but then uses it in this totally new and fresh galaxy that adds more fun and depth and different ideas to these old classic tales. Now, if you like things where characters just, have to spend an episode trying to get gas to be able to get their ship working, to be able to, move on to the next thing, then this is the kind of show you'll like. I heard some people complain on other channels that, people were complaining about it being too episodic, and I'm like, well, hello, welcome to television. That's what happens. I like that this show plays out with very simple, small stories played out per episode. All of the episodes are 30 to 40 minutes. They're pretty easy. Mando is hopping around all over the galaxy, getting into trouble here, there, and everywhere else. Now, this is the one spoiler that I'll kind of get into, but it's just a spoiler for the end of the first episode. And chances are, if you've been on the internet at all in the last few weeks, you already know about Baby Yoda. Now, the show starts with the Mandalorian being tasked with getting this package, delivering it to a person, and you can guess what's going to happen. Once he finds out that this package is Baby Yoda and believes that the people it is going to are going to destroy it, the Mandalorian decides to save Baby Yoda, and the whole season is just about him protecting Baby Yoda. Which, again, not very thematically strong, but it allows plenty of fun, different episodes where we get to see the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda connect, as well as several other characters, including Gina Carano's character, who I really felt was more than just tough on the exterior kind of character. None of them really have much development, but the way that the actors play them and the connection and the dynamics throughout, there's an interesting team that is built around the Mandalorian by the end of the season, and I just can't help but say it. Everything you want out of this show happens in episode 8. The destination is totally worth the journey. I was really on board with the journey, but where we go, I think is exactly what the rest of this show is going to be. We've got a second season coming. You knew that was going to happen. But what I have to say about this show, because, again, it's really quite simple. There isn't a lot to talk about, but this captures what I believe is the feel of Star Wars. I think that they did a really good job of recreating that original trilogy feel. The right musical cues, the right sound effects, the right visual cues at different moments. I think there's a lot that we get that is reminiscent of those films without being, falling into the fan service trap that we keep talking about the Rise of Skywalker. I really appreciate that. I think this is just the right amount of playing within the field that the fans want without just plain servicing the fans without having actual substance behind it. Again, with very little story. I just think all the Mandalorian needs to be is Space Cowboy. Like, that's it. That's all we need, and that's perfectly fine. And I am so content and cool with this show being just what it is. I do have some nitpick problems with some of the things that take me out of it. Like, Gina Carano's character has a gun that makes like the sound of a Gatling gun, and like, I understand it's trying to elicit that badassness, but like, these are laser blasters in space. They shouldn't be making any noises but laser noises. I'm sorry, it just was really like, did we need this? I also just didn't love that. This is gonna sound super stupid, but Baby Yoda just sounds like a baby. Like, I don't know, I get it, like a baby, but shouldn't he sound more like an alien and less of like a human baby? This might be the type of show that hits you harder than me if you are more of a Star Wars fan. However, even if you were a casual viewer, I would say definitely hop on this. If you haven't already, it's totally worth doing your free trial of Disney Plus to check this show out and see what it's like. I want more of this as far as exploring the world of Star Wars. I'm really hoping that this is how they handle the Marvel TV shows. This feels like this captures the vibe properly, yet it's doing its own thing within that realm. I like that. Like, if that's what I can say about The Mandalorian, it captures the vibe and has some fun with it doing its own thing. So if that's what you're looking for, you're totally getting it out of The Mandalorian. It is not the strongest thing in the world, however, it is definitely one of my favorite TV shows of this year. I'm giving season 1 of The Mandalorian a 4 out of 5. Again, I think it probably could hit harder if I just plain loved Star Wars more, but I will say, it does so much of the right stuff in episode 8, which we gotta give credit to Taika Waititi for directing that episode. I find it interesting because so often in this fan world, we're like, oh, Taika Waititi would be so great for this with his certain brand of style. However, I think he did such a good job of capturing the Mandalorian show style and just doing his thing with that. It didn't feel like it was out of place with the rest of the episode. So my point is, I think we can capture this Star Wars vibe with different directors, different people, although it should probably be, just written by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, because they did such a good job with this season. But I think the impossible can be done. So what did you guys think of The Mandalorian? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to watch this now, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in my next video.